Not a challenge, because it's very rare. Usually I have a million things, ideas. But on those days, usually it's like I'll do something new. Just try something new. Try something that even not related to music.
Most of our Sudanese songs, like the beats are the same.
Yeah.
Like even when you hear a beat, you feel like you can guess what song this is, but then it's a totally different song.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one is actually a Zimbabwean artist called Keijo. Wind up explaining something to me that I realize is exactly why we don't get that much. So he mentioned that
Hello, everyone. Welcome on another episode of Red Table Podcast. Today we are so excited. We are here with Amani. Uh, let's dive into knowing her more. Want to dive into your world, Amani?
yes.
Welcome. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm Amani. I go by Amani ILLFATED. I'm a musician and
A musician, an artist,
many other things, but
many other things.
basically a musician.
A little of mango,
Mangoes. Yes.
sweetness too,
Yes.
many other
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
So, how did you first fall in love with music, Amani?
So I was around 4 years old. I saw Celine Dion on TV,
Wow.
and I had no idea what she was doing because we were just new to
4 years
Canada.
old.
Yes,
Wow.
new to Canada. I didn't know anything, but I turned on the TV, and I saw her, and I was like, I want to do what she's doing.
Wow, Celine Dion.
Yes.
There's this song of hers that I love so much.
Yeah.
There was this movie. It's called, I don't know, Laugh Again, something
Love
Laugh
Again?
something. It had this Indian actor, and plus there's this movie that it's Love something, that it was mostly Celine Dion song in it, and
Okay.
it was so touching, so nice, and that's actually when I started liking her more. But there's this popular song of hers. Which one of her songs that you love the most?
I'm Alive. It's probably
I'm
it's a newer
Alive.
one. And then All by Myself, because that's just a classic.
Yeah, I think it's the All by Myself that
Yeah.
that I like.
Yeah,
So, does it mean like now the song or the music that you drop, the singles that you drop, that are like slow love song, or
No, I think with her, I just love the confidence. I really love, obviously, her voice. Her voice is
yeah,
incredible.
her voice and her
But
words.
the way she presents herself on stage is just like so confident, so natural. Like, she just woke up and decided to.
Just full of feelings.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so mostly she's the one who inspired you the most in the creative music journey.
The creative would be MIA and Nelly Furtado. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Has being a woman influencer um, has being a woman influences the kind of music or message you share.
Yeah. Being a woman in the industry is probably one of the hardest things ever, I would say. Well, maybe not the hardest thing ever, but like a very big challenge. For guys, they can just go in, do their music. I'm sure they have their challenges, but for us, a lot of the times it's not being taken as seriously. Especially for me, starting out, I did music production as well. So sometimes I walk into the studio and, I want things done
Yeah.
a certain way, and then I'm told that, no, it's not possible. But if a guy says the exact same thing,
They get
it's
a chance.
possible. In fact, it's beyond possible. So, yeah,
So
it's
being a
been.
woman, it gives some challenges.
Yes, and then there's
Yeah,
obviously
it's
some
true.
industry things that
Actually, being a
happen.
woman, us being women, facing challenges. Mostly they focus. I feel like most of the people focus on Africa, like, oh, like in Africa we're still behind, and we are. It's always the men, like, that the one who get all the chances and all the approval. But this thing, it happened. It started like really long, long ago because even it started with the white. Like they never. There's this. There's this. There's this series I watch. It's called The Cable Girls.
Hmm.
It's actually it's mostly focused on the woman's power, and that's when I knew that actually it's not only us in Africa who suffer as women,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
to fit in. It's
Yeah.
something that happened really long, long. It's just that us we're still behind,
Yes.
and we're not accepting that now we're having gender equal and all that. Like we can do everything.
Yes. Yes.
So
It's true.
yeah, many women are still facing that.
Yes.
So like when you get the challenges with, is it mostly when you're in this in like which part of the which country, like Kenya, or when you go back to South Sudan, like, and you have
Um,
something
it happens everywhere.
everywhere.
Because for me, I grew up in Canada, so there was a lot of challenges there. And as much as I want to say the challenges are different here in
Yeah,
Africa, it's not. It's pretty much the same thing. There's like this doubt, there's this assumption that, especially for female engineers, female producers, female anything to do with, creating the song,
as
the
yeah,
assumption is just that
as a
you're
female,
just here to sing and you go home.
yeah,
Or a lot of the times they just assume that you're just there and
like
you're
there's
an
nothing.
opportunity for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
So when you come in and you're like, oh, we're going to produce this and this and this key with this BPM, and we're going to do this and this, and we're going to include this instrumentation, they're like, no. But if a guy says it, okay.
But do you feel like when you come back to Africa, like yeah, challenges are everywhere, and us as female we face almost the same thing everywhere. But does it feel like in Africa they give you, or you get a bit more opportunities, or like a bit more chances, or like in terms of like respect, like they respect what you want to do, like they can see something in you more.
That one is, it's like yes and no. Yes, people see me differently
Yeah,
because, being from outside, the assumption is that I have the key, that I can just open the door of any
yeah, yeah, yeah,
industry, but it's not like that. But also because I've seen kind of different things out there, I can bring that new
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
different
yeah.
ideas, different strategies, different things here that may work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how everyone, when you go study somewhere else, you
Yeah.
have to come with a different mindset. Like people will know that this one, her mind is different and she's gonna make a lot of changes. So
Yes.
they give you more chances to,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What does your creative process look like? Like any routine and special?
There's no specific routine. Usually it's just as soon as I get into the studio.
Yeah.
The studio is like my home, so it doesn't even matter which country,
Ooh.
which city. As soon as I walk in, I'm like,
Yeah.
relax, sit on the floor, start writing.
Wow.
But yeah, when it comes to like making songs, I love the production part first, and then the lyrics come after.
How do you deal with moments when you're stuck or feel in on low creativity?
Hey, that is hard because it's very rare. Usually, I have a million things, ideas, but on those days, usually it's like I'll do something new, just try something new, try something that even not related to music, not related to anything, just do
Like different
something.
activities completely.
Yeah, like I don't know, go on a Ferris wheel or, you
Go for
know,
bowling,
go to another town.
travel.
Yes, I know. Like my last album was really, it was just the coming to South Sudan was like gave me a million ideas and I was stuck for like a year. So, yeah.
Okay. Out of all your work, is there one song or project that means the most to you?
Um, I think it would be the song "The Hills." That one would be the one that
Which one?
The Hills.
The Hills?
Yeah, That one is the one track in the first album, Saturn. That one was like, I don't know. There was just like some feeling that came over me when I wrote that one, and it was like the
The
deepest.
hills.
And I've even dedicated that one to my dad. So
Wow.
yeah, that one would be the most. But the way I am with music is like the album I create will be the number one in my mind, and I'll have it on repeat until I make the next one. Then I'm
Like,
like,
oh yeah,
forget about that one.
you
I
be
want
like,
this
oh,
one.
this I like this one. Then now when you
Yeah.
bring another, be like, oh, I thought that was good, but this is
Yes,
good.
this is better, and then it
Yeah.
just keeps going like that.
Okay. What challenges have you faced as a South Sudanese female artist? I think we've talked about that right now, but
Yeah.
still, as you're still going,
Going in there, um, it's a challenge that I think it's not even me. It's I think everyone is facing it. Even the guys, girls, everyone is facing it.
yeah,
It's just there's not enough available for South Sudanese artists
there's
right
no,
now. So, like for example, there was a time where I recorded a song in a studio,
yeah,
and I was wondering why it was being mixed a certain way.
uh huh,
And I was like, it's being mixed like every other song. I don't understand. Why can't
or
it sound the way I want it to sound? And I was told that because there was a lot of noise in the background. So I was thinking, oh, most studios, are not fully soundproof, or,
oh yeah, they have
they're
like
not
some
zoned.
missing
Yes.
like things. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Even like a studio, sometimes the electricity would go out, and then, now we have to sit and
So is
wait.
it because most now I've just like when you said that I've just realized that most of our Sudanese songs like the beats is the same.
Yeah.
Like even when you hear a beat, you feel like you can guess what song this is, but then it's a totally different song.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that one is actually a Zimbabwean artist called Keijo. Wind up explaining something to me that I realize is exactly why we don't get that much. So he mentioned that in most countries in Africa,
Yeah.
Spotify is not available.
Yeah.
YouTube data rates are so high that
Yeah.
we're not getting new music.
Yeah.
So at some point, the downloads once downloading music kind of stopped. That was kind of the end of songs being saved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why they're playing the music from like up to 2005,
Yeah. Yeah.
2006, and then after that, there's no new music,
Yeah. True.
and that's
True.
because of the streaming services and all of that. So without that, it's basically like not getting access to new sounds, not getting access to all this stuff. It makes it difficult. Yes,
Yeah.
they have some access to the African, Afro beats and things like that, but to expand, really expand and listen to other,
But
tracks.
do you think like in Kenya here like they're facing the same? I feel like Kenya is a bit it's way more developed and they
Yeah.
don't face such like mostly it's back in our country
Yeah, it's back in South Sudan for
in
sure.
South Sudan.
That could be one reason as to why, the
Does that
production
make you
stays the
feel
same.
like you want to like drop all your singles say that like in Nairobi or like work on them in Nairobi?
For me, I've committed to South Sudan.
Wow.
So, yeah, it definitely has to
Do you
be there.
okay do you come does it come in your mind like okay if now I have known what's the problem and like do you thought of if there's a way you can help like you would do like make changes or like help them to
Yeah, so I've kind of been pioneering that for the past year or so. I took a break, especially after Duguena, once we finished with that track. I took some time. Me and my team put together an organization called Sindani and Co. And with that organization, we actually brought in, professionals. We started putting together workshops and everything. I know a lot of people have been saying, South Sudanese artists don't get to go out and perform internationally. So I'm not able to take anyone out there because they're always asking Amani, take me out, and I can't do that. So we brought the Afrofest,
yeah
the Afrofest musical director here
yeah
to South Sudan,
yeah
and yeah, so those are just some opportunities for
yeah
people.
yeah actually
Yeah,
I saw that it was really
yeah,
amazing I was like wow
yeah. So it gives people a perspective because if I say it, sometimes people think I'm biased. But now if we bring the person, now they can hear it from, yeah, from their mouth.
Okay. So you you are like, what kind of music do? Is it Afrobeat or like the
I
kind
would
of
say it's like a mix of Afro pop,
Afro pop?
R&B, with a little bit of flavor from like rock or
Oh,
or trap or something like
that's
that.
that's
Yeah.
spicy.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So, in South Sudan, I've realized that we have a lot of young musicians, artists. Mostly that they are male. Yeah, as we said that we face challenges as female, but it's still like we are Gen Zs, like we are new generations. We are meant to make changes. But I don't see most of female artists in South Sudan. I just know few actually, although like there are many of them. Like Muslim, for example, Lady Kola. I know Lady Kola.
Yeah.
I know I know I know quite few
Few.
of them,
Yeah.
but they're really, I can count them like not even 10. It won't even reach to 10, and it's just like top five that they have at least one hit that made them like go. So, is there any changes like what needs to be changed? Is there still changes that needs to be done in the women? I mean, we female music
There
industry.
has to be changes, but unfortunately, these changes we've been asking for them for like decades, decades upon decades, which is,
Because as for South Sudan is still, but we're progressing. Yeah, it
yes.
won't be overnight. But as the guys, they are finding their ways, and we have so many people who are talented like you, for example, and you're also seeing your ways out. So as you who is seeing your way out and bring changes, do you feel, is there anything you can advise that the girls, they still need this change, and if they do work on it, it's gonna work?
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a complicated thing in the industry, which is something that we discussed before, which is because it's so male dominated,
Yeah.
they're still looking at women in this
But
way.
besides that, as
Yes.
us women who have,
Yes.
yeah,
So now, because of that, women are afraid to go and do things in the industry because they're worried about, your manager's a male,
yeah.
your producer's a male.
I
Yeah.
even forgot the question that I
Yeah.
asked earlier. But yeah, I was saying those challenges that you say, it's minimize the number of the girls of the girls female in
In
our,
the industry. Yeah.
because yeah,
Yeah. So it's like one problem that creates a lot of problems. So that is being a female in a male dominated industry. They look at you as a certain way. So sometimes they're looking at you in a way of like attraction or whichever. So when girls are getting into the industry,
yeah,
you find that their managers are male. You find that their producers are male. You find all this, and
and they
sometimes,
face a lot of demands.
yes, they can wind up holding songs hostage until they get what they want out of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
artist, or they can, make lies. That's another one that's happened where they will say, "Oh, if you don't do this, I will tell everyone you did this,"
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
who are people going to believe?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so
So even for the young girls who are talented, like they're naturally talented,
yeah,
those things hold them not to go out
it's
there, and that's actually a big problem in our country, South Sudan.
yeah, it's a very big problem, and the one way to battle it is that, if women can start doing production, women can start becoming engineers,
Doing their own
and
things by
yeah,
themselves.
and creating safe spaces so that they can just focus on music and not other, things.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. What are you working on right now that excites you?
So, for the past like month and a half,
Yeah,
we've been actually starting to shoot some videos.
yeah.
I wanted to release an album, but what happened is just I met so many producers just here and there, and we wound up putting together just some songs that don't really have like a theme or anything, but they
Yeah.
just sound really good together.
Yeah.
So I'll be releasing something shortly,
So it's
really, really
exciting
soon.
you.
Yes, it's really exciting
I
because
can't
it's
wait for it. Then it's
very different from what I normally do.
wow.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy collaborations with other people or working solo more?
I love collaborating, but it's kind of like you can't just collaborate with anyone. There's certain energies, certain creative,
Yeah.
electricity. So there's certain people that I just can't wait to work with,
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes it just feels like a little bit of a job.
How do you stay true to yourself? How do you stay true to your sound, even with all the trends and feedbacks around you?
Phew. It's hard because you get a lot of feedback, especially with the social media.
Yeah.
Everyone is always commenting and commenting. And I think there's this one phrase that I said in Halawa, and it
Hello.
just kind of
Wow.
stuck with me for life. It was like, don't take life so seriously. So sometimes when things get complicated or I'm getting like really horrible comments, I'm just like, it's just a joke. This is life. Enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you tell the? Okay, I wanted to talk more about halal, but we'll go there because
Okay.
actually, it's even the name itself. It's interesting. Okay, what's the best advice someone has ever given you?
Success is the best revenge, which is
Mm-hmm.
what a counselor of mine told me when I was 12.
Wow.
And there's
Yeah.
just a lot going on in my life, lots of things happening. And sometimes you get that anger. You're like, oh, I want to show everybody, I want to do this. And she was like, you don't have to go and like do a whole revenge. You don't have to do all this stuff. You just
Just do it. Do
go
your
and
best, and
succeed,
yeah.
and then watch what they do afterwards. And up to now, I'm like seeing some people from way back that, you know, I realized it was actually the best advice ever.
Okay. What would you tell young girls in South Sudan specifically? Who wants to? Yeah. What would you advise young girls who wants to be
Oh,
artists like you, especially the South Sudanese girls?
yes, with South Sudanese girls, even African girls, I would say, is just try to get into the back end of everything. The music industry is not all about being a face or being on stage and performing. When you just wind up doing only that, you wind up actually kind of going back. So it's good to know production. It's good to know songwriting. It's good to
Yeah.
take as much control as possible.
Yeah.
Even learning the legalities, learning.
So it's not just like having the thoughts and then you sing. It's
Yeah,
good to learn,
yes, exactly.
go
It's not
through
just
it,
the
learn.
image. It's
Yeah.
also the work. Put in the work, and that way no one can control you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that you don't just be like, oh, I want to go to the studio, but now the producers like
Yeah,
this and all
they're
that.
doing. Now you can say I have the production studio in my house. Let me just do it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. What impact do you hope your music leaves behind?
Uh, for me, it's to raise South Sudan. But that's been like my mission since I got back was like redefine South Sudan. So I hope that this music takes over the world, and then in taking over the world, it also raises the country.
That's actually it's mostly our parents when they take us out of the country to go study somewhere, they always have that thought of like when my child comes back they're going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So it's good that you actually kept that and you're doing your promise. You start with yourself and you're coming back to your country and to elevate it
Yes.
with all the education you got from outside.
Yeah.
So as we are lucky, we are blessed to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's good that you came back with the same impact, the same mindset. Because mostly, uh, our youth out there, you have the chance to go do your best and come help, but you go and get lost in the middle. You go and forget your your mission. I don't know, or vision. Like
Well,
you forget
you for,
the reason actually, because
yeah,
you're not taken out there for fun, but you
yeah.
go and get lost You get lost during the fun or in the fun.
Yes, you get lost, and then there's also people who want to come back, but unfortunately, things are so difficult because it's not easy to come back and readjust, especially
Yeah.
once you've been out there. Like everything is different. So there are people who want to come back, but it's just really hard, to come back to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you love doing when you're not making music? Is there any hobbies?
Hobbies, I mean, I like studying, random languages.
Wow. How many
Yeah.
languages do you speak?
I don't know exactly. I'm still like
Wow.
trying to, you know,
That's good.
gauge exactly, but yeah.
That's a good one. If you could have dinner with one artist, dead or alive, who could it be?
Ooh, that was a tough question. I think it would be a tie between Beyonce or MIA.
Beyonce or MAA?
Yeah, MIA because I know we'd probably take over the world by the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
And then Beyonce because she has been also one of my idols, so I would want to ask
I
like a
think you
million
can
questions.
it's still gonna happen.
Yeah,
So yeah.
hopefully,
It will
inshallah.
happen, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Okay, what's something about being an artist that most people totally get it wrong?
Yeah, people think we're partying all day. People think we're sleeping all day.
Sleeping all day?
Sleeping all day, partying all day, and that we just, have fantastic, champagne and
People think
private
you guys are
jets.
enjoying life.
But really, it's like waking up at 5 in the morning. It's like 4 hours of training and practice, and
So it's
everyone's screaming and yelling. And
yeah, people think that
it's
being an
work.
artist is مرتاح, so مرتاح.
No, Murta, where?
So relax.
Yeah,
But then it's not like that. It takes a lot
it's
actually.
work.
Like
It's work.
it's somehow I think it's hard. It's something one of the
It's
hardest things to do
it's hard.
because you need to like people needs to be you need to convince people and it's convincing people you need to put something in it like
Yeah. You need
yeah.
to, well, first you work on yourself because, like, say you have a video shoot and you have to look like, I don't know, some character. Now you got to, like, train yourself to get into that character. At the
Yeah.
same time, a shoot is not 1 hour. A shoot is like 12 hours, and it could be 12 hours for 3 days straight. So it's like pure work. And then, even the traveling, you moving
Yeah.
from one city to another,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Okay, I have a quick fire rounds. I don't know should I
Fire
call it
rounds. Okay.
I don't
All
know if it's
right.
fire rounds
Ready
or
for this one?
uh but it's just questions then you just answer, yeah?
Okay.
So Afropop or R&B?
Afropop.
Afropop? Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunset?
Yeah.
Oh. Dream collaboration? Is it
MIA
uh,
and Nelly Furtado.
oh yeah, okay. One thing you can't live without?
Mangoes and music.
Your juice?
Mangoes and music.
Mangoes. Okay,
Oh,
wait. Since since you've been in Canada, what's the craziest I want to put it in my own way, actually. Since you've been in Canada, you actually studied in Canada, yeah? Like
yeah.
you've stayed most of the time in Canada than Africa.
Yes.
Then you came to Nairobi, then Juba.
Uh, Not really. I came to Nairobi for like a day, and
Okay,
then
what's the craziest travel story you have? Like like short.
short, crazy travel. I guess coming to Africa.
Coming to
I
Africa?
was just told that I was supposed to do some project out in Nairobi. So I
Huh?
got on the plane, came to Nairobi thinking, okay, we're gonna meet here. And then as soon as I got into the hotel, it was like, oh, no, you need to come to Juba. I
No.
was like, wait, what? Okay.
Oh. Okay, I have this one. So now, actually, I want to talk about halawa. When like what inspired halawa?
Halawa, there was a bass line that came to my head because usually like I do the music first and then the lyrics come, and there was this bass line that I just kept in repeat. It was actually in my sleep too.
Yeah.
So when I woke up in the morning, it was still there. So I'm like, okay, this has to be there. So I started putting it together, and then when I was like shopping it around to producers to help me to like build the sound, and they kept making it too happy. I was like, I don't want it to be happy. I want it to be sad, a little bit like sad. So change it to minor chords. So we changed it to minor chords, and then just all of a sudden, the word halawa, halawa, halawa came into
Hello.
mind, and then the lyrics just, fell into place
Was
from there.
okay
Yeah.
with the lyrics now. Is Halawa uh inspired by like real life? It's like
Yes. So it's about like when you get
it's
down.
like a true story. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
true-ish story. But when you fall into depression or you get you know down. So like in pandemic, I wound up feeling really, really, really down and just not myself. And then there was a day where I went out and me and my friends were on the beach. The sun was shining, but I was like, when we got home, I was like, did the sun come out today? And my friends looked at me and they were like, we were on the beach the whole day. And then that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I'm depressed. So yeah, and then the halawa part is like everybody always has a recommendation for you. Like if you're feeling down, they're like, go and do yoga, or your
Yeah.
mom will be like, go to sleep, or go climb this mountain and get this one fruit, and it will make you. And the doctors are like, take this pill, it will make you happy.
Yeah.
So halawa is just basically whatever people
Yeah.
tell you that you're supposed to take
Okay.
instead of taking.
So
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, if you are mango, what type would you be?
South Sudan
Sweet,
mango,
sour,
very,
spicy,
very sweet.
very sweet mango?
Yes.
If you had to write a love song to a fruit, which fruit would it be? Beside mango.
Beside mango, probably to lychee.
Huh?
Lychee,
Lychee?
yeah.
Lychee is which
Just
fruit?
like Asian fruit that's hard to describe, but it's like a little soft thing. You peel it and you eat the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I know it,
Yeah.
but I think we call it mashi.
Mashi? Okay.
Like
I didn't know that.
is it like creamy? It's
No, not creamy.
oh yeah, it's not the one, it's
Yeah.
not the one.
Yeah.
Uh what's the weirdest place you've ever written a song?
Weirdest place I've ever written a song?
Mm-hmm.
I guess on a plane over Ethiopia.
On a plane
Yeah,
to
over
Ethiopia?
Ethiopia. Yeah.
Okay. So actually uh what's your silliest talent? What's a silly talent you have? That nobody knows about.
The silliest talent. Um, I guess writing with both hands.
That's
Yes.
that's not silly.
For me, it's silly because it's like, why? you know?
Yeah. It's I see. I meet people who can read with buttons.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
everyone always asks why, and then when you don't have an answer, like they want a profound answer, and it's like I don't know. It just is there.
Okay, just one more thing.
Okay.
I was asking where can people find your music and support you
Yes.
actually?
So my music is available pretty much everywhere. So Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, it's all there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
all there.
you can
Just
use
search
the
for Amani.
yeah. So Amani ill-fated. So AMANIE,
Yeah.
ILLFATED.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amani.
Thank
It
you.
was nice having you
Yeah.
today, and thanks so much for giving us the honor to sit with you and discuss about just normal life things, and also,
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Yes.